At the moment, I am having my food delivered. The groceries, the food that you go to a store to buy and bring home, at the moment, for 2 or 3 months, about 2 or 3 months, I've been having it delivered, brought to where I live, to my house. I haven't been going to the store, to the grocery store, to the shops. I haven't been going there to buy food, to buy groceries. Now that I've been doing it for 2 or 3 months, I can compare delivery and going to the shops myself. I've experienced both, and I've been thinking about the pros and cons, the positives and negatives, the advantages and disadvantages that each one has. Normally, the food is delivered once every week, but that's entirely up to you, to the person ordering the food. In this video, I'm going to focus on the fruits and the vegetables. These are perishables, things that can go bad very quickly. In fact, maybe you also have this experience. Often at the shops, when I would go shopping and buy fruits and vegetables, they would already be bad the day after. After bringing them back home, one day later, some of the fruits would already be bad because they were already getting bad in the shops. So you have to be careful, you have to be cautious, careful, and check the fruit and vegetables very well. You have to make sure that they're not too ripe. When fruits are ready to eat, they're ripe. Before then, they're unripe. When they're unripe, they can be too sour, they can be hard, and they're not pleasant to eat. They're not ready to eat. They're unripe. When the food is ready, when the fruit is ready to eat, it's ripe. And it can be overripe, too ripe. When it's getting squishy, maybe it tastes a bit foul, a bit too sweet, a bit rotten when it's rotting. So an advantage of going to the shops yourself is that you can check what you're buying. You can look at it, feel it, examine it to make sure it's ripe, but not too ripe, or to make sure it's unripe, but not too unripe. Maybe it will be ready to eat in a few days. You can look for fruit and vegetables that are just right. One problem, or one possible problem, with having fruits and vegetables delivered is that you can't check them. You can't physically look and feel the fruits before buying them. They're delivered, and only after you've bought them on the internet, only after they've been delivered to your house, you can check them to see if they're good or bad. I said this is a possible disadvantage because it actually didn't turn out to be a problem. I was fearing a bit, I was a bit worried that all the fruit that we ordered, that we had delivered, wouldn't be good, that it would be too unripe or too ripe, too hard, and we would have to wait a long time until it's ready to eat, or it was already squishy and not pleasant, not nice to eat. I was worried about the fact you couldn't choose, you couldn't select the fruit that you wanted or the vegetables that you wanted. But actually, I was pleasantly surprised, which means those fears, those worries that I had didn't turn out to be justified. There was no problem, nothing to worry about. It was surprising because all of the fruits and vegetables were very good. They were right at the point of being ready to eat. They were ripe, but just ripe. Nothing was too ripe, nothing was under ripe. So I was surprised because even at the shops, when I go to the shops, it's hard to get everything so good. I always look and check, but usually there's one or two things I don't check well enough, or there's some fruits and vegetables that are hard to check. You can feel them and they feel all right, but when you get home and open them or bite into them, they're worse than you thought. They're too ripe or they're less ripe than you thought. And it surprised me that the fruits and vegetables I had delivered, that were delivered, were near perfect, and that they were in a better condition than what I would have selected myself at the store, which is surprising because you'd think that it would be the other way around, that you'd have to put up with, you'd have to accept that some of the fruits and vegetables weren't perfect. For the advantages of having the food delivered to you, the time that saves, the effort that saves because you don't have to go to the shops, those are advantages. I was thinking I'd have to accept a few problems with the fruit and vegetables. And I was worried, I feared that not only a few, there might be a lot of problems. So I was pleasantly surprised that there were really no problems. So this video was about the quality of the fruit and vegetables. That means their quality, how good they were or how bad they were. And I was surprised that they were of such good quality. And it's because I don't quite know how it works, but this company, this business that delivers the food, doesn't store the food for a very long time. They get it from the suppliers, and very quickly they're delivering it to the customers like me. The food doesn't sit around getting old. The fruits and vegetables don't sit around ripening, which I think is why the quality is quite good. But the other side is the selection. And this is where I had a more negative experience. Often what you want, the fruits and vegetables that you want, you can't find. Some weeks they'll have them, other weeks they won't. And this is because, I think, because they don't store things for very long. So they can only sell to the customers what they have very recently gotten from suppliers. They don't store a big amount of every different thing, every different type of fruit and vegetable, so that they always have enough. They can easily run out of the small amount they have, and so it means the selection changes a lot. What's available to buy changes a lot, which can be a bit annoying. That's a negative, but maybe I'll talk more about that in another video. But what you can buy, what you can find, the fruits and vegetables that are available, their quality is pretty good. All right, see ya. And don't forget that you can support me on Patreon. The link is in the description below.